Next up, Ikumi Yoshimatsu returns to the program. She was our guest a while ago. You may recall she's the Japanese beauty queen who turned feminist and then took a stand against the gangster underground, the Yakuza. And before she leaves the country, before she leaves the U.S., we wanted to get her on a second time to talk about how she's expanding her campaign about violence against women to take on all of Japanese culture. Welcome back, Ikumi. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me again, Robin.
Well, because we didn't have time for the whole story last time, and it's quite a story. You are courageously continuing, even escalating, the work that you've taken on of prevention of violence against women in Japan. Last time we talked about your having confronted the Yakuza, the gangster underground, but now you've taken it more public into pressuring the government itself. Tell us about this and how it came to be that you and the First Lady of Japan are co-chairing this task force.
Okay. Since going public 3 months ago, with my personal story of attempted abduction, being stalked and intimidated by a Japanese talent agency executive who works for the top entertainment industry Yakuza boss in Japan, millions of women have felt empowered to speak out. And because of this, the media has started to cover crime against women like they never have before. For the first time, women being murdered by stalkers and forced to commit suicide is becoming front-page news. So last year, the Prime Minister Abe stood in front of the UN and said that he wants to see Japan become a country where women shine. So last April, he implemented a recommendation that I made as the youngest member of the Ministerial Population Crisis Task Force to require all public companies to include at least one woman on its board of directors.
Yay!
And I recommended that the number be 30% women within 5 years, which is bring Japan up to par with Northern European countries. But even starting with one woman will change corporate attitudes.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and now I have started the Stalker Zero campaign on change.org, which received more signatures than any previous campaign in Japan, and has become a place where women are writing about their own personal experiences.
Ikumi, we can access, women in the West can also go to Stalker Zero.
Yes, sure.
Yes, on change.org and sign it. Good. Okay, so that's on change.org, listeners, and you would just do a search for Stalker-Zero campaign or for the word Ikumi. Go on.
Exactly.
Good. Go on.
Thank you. And I'm gathering specialists and legal professionals to author strict new law recommendations to present to Prime Minister Abe. And my biggest supporter is his wife, First Lady Akie Abe. She told me that when she visits other countries like the U.S., other first ladies are very active in social and political issues. But when she goes back to Japan, people criticize her for not keeping quiet and tell her just to be a good wife. I think she's the first activist wife of the Japanese Prime Minister, and maybe she's the moral compass for her husband.
The Prime Minister had previously said he was going to withdraw the public apology that was made a few years ago to the comfort women from the so-called comfort women from World War II, who were women of other countries, of Korea, of the Philippines, and Japanese women who had been forced basically to serve as sexual slaves to Japanese military forces. And there was an apology made after much pressure from the global women's movement. And And just a while ago, Abe had said he was going to withdraw the apology for the sake of patriotism. Yeah. And then just this last week, he said no, he changed his position and the apology would stand. Do we think that the First Lady maybe is an influence behind that?
Yes, I think so. And it seems that the opinion of some people in the Japanese right wing is that these women were common prostitutes.
Right.
And all 80,000 to 200,000 of them. So they are not on an apology.
That's right. Yep.
But the testimonies of the women who survived provides them wrong. And as a Japanese, I am embarrassed and ashamed of these comments. And as a woman, I am outraged that apologizing is even an issue. So you can see we must change century of culture and unspoken disregard for the rights of women. In order to do this, bold regulations and strict new laws must slap reality into the face of injustice. So